Hey friends, how's it going? It's been a couple days, so thanks for bearing with me as I get my poop in a group, as my mother likes to say. Love that one. I'd like to talk today about letdowns. And this is going to be like a very positive iteration of what to do when you're let down, or let's talk about letdowns, because life is filled with letdowns, and there are several interesting things that we do as humans when we deal with a letdown. On the upper end of the spectrum, we kind of just don't even think about it. We're like, well, you can't miss what you've never had. On the opposite, or we just say, oh well, no big deal. On the opposite end of that spectrum, we blame, we regret, we let it impact the rest of our day. I'm sure all of us have done both of these ends of the spectrum. I'm pretty sure I have, definitely. So, you know, I was just let down. So, and I like my immediate jerk reaction. So, okay, so basically, I'm doing a master's degree in behavioral economics, and I have one more course to go. One more in this entire 2-year degree. And I was ready to go starting on Monday for my last course ever in this program. And I just got an email that says the course you need is not being offered next term, so I'm gonna have to wait for 2 more months before I can take this class. And I'm like, really? Like, I'm this close? Seriously? And there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. And I'm incredibly let down. And I was like, this is absurd. But what can I do? They're not offering the course. It's an online program, so like it's not affected by COVID. So alas, but after my initial like this really stinks and like who can I get angry at, and I sort of like rifled through my mental encyclopedia of like who can I blame for this. Nobody. I mean, literally nobody. Some letdowns you can blame on yourself. Some letdowns you can blame on somebody else. But ultimately, like, even if you do blame someone or something, like, it still is what it is, and you can't really do anything about it. So I decided that it would be 8 weeks of extra time to make my thesis, like, really amazing, versus just, getting it done, like, really, really getting it done. So, they, meaning I, talk about these things in terms of finding the silver lining. You can literally find a silver lining in pretty much everything. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say everything. Every single thing that appears to be the darkest of rain clouds has a silver lining. So, I mean, I'm not always rainbows and sunshine. Like, I get angry, I get sad, I get irritated, I get annoyed. But happiness, or certain forms of happiness and fulfillment, are based for people who are successfully more sustainably happy. They're based on people's ability to cope with letdowns in a very productive way. So I'd like you to, think about an example of a recent letdown that you had, whether it be like you went to the grocery store and you forgot your mask so you couldn't go in, or somebody was supposed to call you and they didn't call you, or like I know, applying for a job and then you don't get the job, and like what can you blame for this letdown? So there's all this research about people who kind of get over stuff, and researchers found that people who are like mourning the loss of somebody and they tend to blame themselves for something they did or did not do are grieving and unable to get over it for a much longer period of time than those who blame the circumstance. Like, it just was, it was just the way it happened, and this happened, and this happened, and then the series of events led to that happening. So, as much as you can remove yourself or another person from the blame game and just try to blame or place emphasis on an external factor, when appropriate, you got to take ownership of what you do, right? But when something just happens, as much as you can just assign it to an external situation and not to yourself and not to somebody else, you will be happier, be more calm, be more willing to accept letdowns as just another cloud with a silver lining. So, I will see you guys soon and have a glorious rest of your day. It's about to downpour this rain cloud here in Washington, D.C. Bye.